Gurv Mahagat Kyan Korla, and I, as every member today has done, completely condemn the barbaric events at City West and most recently at Drogheda, County Louth. I want to express my gratitude to the members of An Garda Síochána and the emergency services for their swift actions. However, it shouldn't have come to this in reality. And there, as I've said previously on the 18th of September, there is a real risk to social cohesion if we don't put our house in order in a fair and humane manner as quickly as possible. And I do want to thank you, Minister Brophy and Minister O'Callaghan, for the detailed updates that you provided to us this afternoon and the briefing document, which I skimmed through. So I am grateful for that. But the reality is, and I think there probably is a public relations piece in terms of that information that you've given us to get that out into the wider community, so people are aware that huge efforts are being made by the International Protection Team and the ministerial team. But I'm just wondering, there are a couple of areas that I've sought information on previously, and that's in relation to capacity audits in the areas of housing, healthcare, education, transport, given that our population is increasing very rapidly. In order to determine in advance the services that are required for those who legitimately apply for and qualify for international protection supports, but also for the communities that will host international protection applicants. The other area that I queried previously is the area of critical skills audits, because again that links in with the issuing of work permits. And I'm a little bit concerned that there may be a crossover between using an international protection application route disingenuously, where a work permit application, albeit more timely and at a cost, that avenue may be disingenuously being used. So I'm wondering if a critical skills audit is being carried out to determine sector by sector the number of migrant workers that we require. And I note that Brazil, Georgia and India were mentioned earlier as countries of origin, and I'm not sure, was that for work permit applications or international protection? Because again, I would fear there are two countries in particular. There are areas where their geography, geology and demographies are changing very rapidly because of large corporations moving in, looking to increase output and productivity, farmland being taken over, populations being moved to urban areas being overpopulated, and then people being forced to leave their country of origin. And that links into the climate piece as well. So I think there's a much bigger picture here. Again, another concern, are there robust checking mechanisms in place with the Department of Social Protection? Perhaps there are reforms needed there as well. I note many small businesses in County Meath cite an unavailability of workers to go beyond 18.5 hours a week, so there are some issues there. And then I would just like to point out, I suppose, some glaring surprises. And it's unusual for ordinary people in my own area to raise flags with me in this particular whole area and issue of migration, but two that come to mind and that have been voiced to me. How come accommodation offers, expressions of interest, can be fast-tracked for international protection applicants, but previously they haven't been sought nor offered for people who are on local authority housing lists? Another issue I'd like to point out, as of this evening, I can book a 2-night break in the Hilton Kiev for the 16th and 17th of November, and travel advice is only recommending.
Deputy Mattie McGrath.